Hi, my name is Eddie Santos. I'm a retired Army Sergeant with more than 23 years, and I am a disabled vet. I've been all over the place trying to get assistance for my disability. And as for right now, the only person that seemed to help me out was when I went to the congressman's office, tried to get some assistance for him to help me get my prosthetic leg fixed. So finally the congressman had me the opportunity to go to Palo Alto in San Jose, California, where they finally fixed my prosthetic. If you need help and you seem to not get it anywhere, you should go see our congressman with the people he has there to help us veterans get what we need and what we deserve for doing our time in service for the freedom of our island and for our country.
This ad was paid for with official funds from the office of Congressman Michael F.Q. San Nicolas.
The pompous
and elite wish we go away
because we are
real and direct.
No interest owns us,
and we have no interest but the truth.
Together we are exposing
corruption.
Together we will reform criminal justice.
Together
we are fighting violence against women and children.
We here at
Kandit
will shine the light
on every corner of darkness.
Together we are giving a voice
to the voiceless
and forgotten.
Stay lit.
Together we
are giving a voice to the voiceless and forgotten.
We are Kandit News Group.
Let me call you back on FaceTime.
All right.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Sorry, that was Senator Jim Moylan. We're going to call him back on FaceTime so that we can cast through my screen. We just ended our stream on the Guam Legislature's informational briefing conducted by Speaker Tina Muñoz Barnes, where really we got really nothing out of that.
Nothing.
And it was because the Speaker and Senator Regine Lee sent a total of, I think it's 87 questions, to the administration ahead of time. And so it really just turned into, the administration is responding to those questions, so to speak, but all it turned into was Lulian Guerrero infomercial, where we really just got nothing except, admissions from cabinet officials of what we already knew. But I guess it's good to put it on the record for any federal investigation or, if we're lucky, local investigation that may happen into corruption in the Leon Guerrero administration during this COVID-19 crisis. What we're going to do is get Senator Jim Moylan on FaceTime. And let me see if I can just hook this up right here so that we can cast to my screen. Oh, what happens if he's not in? Oh, wait, here. Jim Moylan, no. He's not on my FaceTime. He needs to call. Let me just message him then that. And so we really got nothing out of that, so we ended that stream. I know I wouldn't watch it. It just seemed like a waste of time.
It really was.
I just asked him if he can FaceTime me now.
Hi, my sunshine.
And for whatever reason, the message is not going through. Maybe we should have just kept him on the... Hold on. Sorry, technical issues. Please stand by. There we go.
It went through?
Double gray.
Maybe he's just looking at the phone.
So we have members of the media asking the speaker's chat room, are the senators going to ask any questions? And of course, the answer is going to be no. The questions that the senators are asking, or they're being told to submit their questions via writing or via email, and here. Oh, wrong one. And the administration officials will respond in writing, which of course is just going to be, more lies, more.
Or no answer.
Yeah.
They'll just totally act like the question didn't come in.
Yeah. So Senator Jim Moylan yesterday sent a letter to to Governor Lilian Guerrero about double pay. And here he is. Hi, Senator.
Hi there.
Hi. You weren't able to do a video call?
That's what there. Okay, now I'm pressing the button. There we are.
All right. End and accept. So we can cast to my screen now?
I can see.
Okay.
Good haircut, by the way.
Oh, thank you. It's not the Lilian Guerrero special, and I didn't have to dye my own hair. I don't have to dye my hair. Oh, your video paused. Well, anyway, Senator, as you're fixing that, thank you. And thank you for your phone call, or thank you for allowing us to call you to talk about this double pay issue. I read over your letter, and it makes a lot of sense. You are suggesting or offering to the administration detailed fiscal solutions on how double pay for frontliners can be paid. They can be made whole and also carry on another 16 weeks through the public health emergency if it does continue to the end of August, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's correct.
Can you explain what these are, and then we'll just shed some perspective on some other issues regarding double pay.
All right. Thank you. I was also able to attend the protest a few days ago at ITC intersection, where I would say close to 100 nurses and frontliners came on out to participate in.
Okay.
And they were all, of course, all upset about the differential pay idea. They spoke to me about their checks, and I thought it was really, it's discouraging if that was the amount of money that you got after doing all this work and everything you had to put your family through and yourself through as well. And this is it. This is your 25% of the differential pay. So the differential pay does not work. It's insulting, I think, to the frontliners.
Yeah.
So double pay, which is in the books already, is the right pay. I believe that should be done. And what the governor has already done, and we identified the funding through the CARES Act, the federal money. And that's another thing. The governor says that if we pay the double time, then it will cause financial hardship for the government of Guam. But she's talking about the general fund. The money that we're talking about is the CARES Act, and that's the federal funding. It's not the general fund money. So it's not going to impact the government of Guam when we're getting federal money to pay the frontliners. And I'm sure the governor, it's just a matter of words, right? But basically, the governor is using or earmarked $22 million of the CARES Act fund, the federal money, to be used for the differential pay. So that's where she's getting the money. So this differential pay to me is a fail. To just redirect it, change your plans. And Ed Byrne on another report had said that it would cost the government of Guam $3 million per pay period for this double pay. So the governor has already earmarked $22 million, and it costs $3 million per pay period. So when this epidemic started, which is about 5 pay periods already, that's $15 million we could catch up to. And there's still, after spending that, minus the 22, we got a $7 million left, again, from the CARES Act, that just by redirecting this differential pay. So that's one source to provide up for another month of pay period. The other source that she can use, again, from the CARES Act Relief Fund is the program that the governor had set up for those eligible in the SNAP program for the additional $300. which I disagree with as well, because that program the governor did does not address the middle class people. But that's another story. So the governor did put aside for this program another $20 million. And they're estimating that they'll approximately use at a high $7 million of this, because this program ends on May 15th to register in, right? So
that's 13 million left over.
Yes, another one, right? That can go to the double pay option instead of this differential pay.
So far that's 35 million. The 22 plus the 13, that's 35 million so far. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, and plus the option, I haven't heard from the administration, have they reached out to FEMA for this reimbursement and pay as well?
Because they are reimbursable costs. They have been in previous emergencies.
Yes, and then we can use additional federal funds for, again, there's more in the bank. So there are options, and now GFT is saying, well, we're really upset. We have to support our members, and we want to take you to court, government of Guam. And there's a possibility that they could win. And we know when that happens, we'll probably with additional costs and all the other people that are involved, maybe 50 million, maybe more, that the government of Guam would have to pay out. And that money, if we lose that case, is going to come out of our general fund. And that will be devastating. So if we really want to help the frontliners, and we hear what the frontliners are saying, they're even picketing on the side of the road. We've seen their checks and this differential, which is very insulting payment for all the work they've done. Then do the right thing and correct it. Correct it by just redirecting or reconsidering that choice. If it's not working out, let's change it, and let's avoid this lawsuit that is pending that could cost us a lot more money. So that's just what I wanted to share. So we wrote that letter to the governor. I believe it's on May 13th. We'll see if we get an answer or not. But
you're not going to get an answer.
I'm not going to get it.
You're not going to get an answer. Senator, I'm wondering if you've questioned DOA's Ed Burns' numbers. You said that he said $3 million is their estimated per pay period cost for double pay. And I'm questioning that because I know that payroll on a biweekly basis costs $6 million for the executive branch. And so if he's saying that it's going to cost $3 million, that sounds to me that like he is saying that half of the executive branch is working during this emergency. And I don't... Have those numbers been fleshed out? That doesn't sound right. Or either that or at the most, some 15 to 20% of the highest paid workers in the executive branch are the ones who are working. Has Ed Byrne provided any numbers on this? Because that 3 million number doesn't sound right.
Yeah, his number was based on another interview regarding if he was to pay out double pay. That was the number he provided. But how he calculated his figures, I'm sorry, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know that.
Because $3 million is half of the entire executive branch payroll on a biweekly basis.
Right. I could write a letter, but we won't.
They're not going to answer. Yeah.
How about what about? Do we know if the cabinet members and the administration have they been paid full payments of differential pay within these 8 weix?
Do you know that, Senator?
Yeah, for that information, Adelup says they're transparent, but we had to FOIA for that. So, no, I do not know that. But I certainly will find out. And we have asked some FOIA questions ourselves.
They're as transparent as duct tape.
Yeah.
Or electrical tape. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, or a green swimming pool.
Okay. I just spit out my fried rice laughing at that. Senator, to put something into perspective, we did a report last night showing that on the public health staffing pattern, there are fewer than 50 community health nurses, LPNs, RNs, and nurse practitioners who are at public health. They make on the high, we did a high-end average of $25 an hour times 25% differential. That's $6.25 added to their hourly rate, times 560 hours for the past 8 weeks of work. And we know it's more because they're working Saturdays and they're not getting paid for the Saturdays. But on a Monday to Friday, All things being equal, every single one of them has been working during this emergency and none of them have had a day off. 560 hours times 625 times 50 of them comes out to $175,000, which is less than 1/3 the cost of the one invoice from Pacific Star Hotel. Have you considered the perspective here on the governor's ordering the payment of the Pacific Star and all other invoices when she could have paid the nurses 3 times over for that differential pay, the hazard pay that she herself instituted? She could pay them for the next 16 weeks with that money.
Right. It's very discouraging, and I've received those calls from public health employees as well, and I've seen pictures of their checks too, and it's insulting. And some of them are saying, we can hold these checks for 6 months, just not even cash it. Why bother? Even though it's still money, of course, but because it's the principle of it. If this is what you're telling us, and we appreciate our job, we work hard at our job, and we also had to maintain our requirements by federal to provide the other programs that we're supposed to. Plus, we're doing this COVID in addition. But yet you prioritize paying vendors.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we're doing that. You know how far behind we are in paying vendors just on a regular before the COVID came about? Other small businesses struggle to make the consideration even to deal with the government of Guam, and knowing that maybe 6 months to 9 months or even a year before I get my payment. But now we're prioritizing certain, in this situation, those vendors with contracts that weren't signed, and now we're learning more about it, and it seems like a learning lesson for Adelup. I guess they're young in the game as well, but now they're saying maybe we should do the procurement way, and we should have had these contracts signed to start with. So yes, it's unfortunate. We say one thing, but we seem to do another. But going back to what we really need to do is doing the right thing. So let's pay them. Let's pay the frontliners. We know the money is there. It's not from the general fund. Let's do the right thing and just move on. And I'm hoping that's what would happen. And I'm hoping also that the frontliners will reach out to your program and other programs too, just to call in to voice their opinion. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
They absolutely are. Denise Pangilinan says the senators need to band together because their careers are on the line. They need to demand answers, demand action, or go over this dictator's head. Time to pick a team. Well, even if the public health crisis were ended by the legislature, what remains is that the governor has full control over the use of that $117 million, subject to federal guidelines, right? And so the legislature doesn't have any authority where to direct that money. But you guys do have budgetary authority for the local government's revenues. Is there any way that you can box the governor in to force her to use Federal CARES Act money in a certain way by revoking certain things with her use of revenues in the local budget?
That's a really good question. And in fact, the state of Hawaii, their House and their Senate, they control their CARES relief money, and they direct it to how the governor spends it.
Oh, wow.
We could have did something like that as well here, but our difficulty is this Title 10, Chapter 19, where it gives the governor the authority. There is no reporting to the legislature in that law, in that public law. And I did introduce a bill to include reporting to specify who, what, where, and why did you purchase this building for this use? Why did you get this contract for this use? And how much did you use it for? Not limiting the hands of the governor to proceed, but providing us the transparency with what was done with the money. So at least we can see. Right now, we're just a bunch of FOIA kings and queens out there. And I've seen other FOIA requests, and we're kind of asking the same questions. And when you can just be transparent and tell it as it is, and I applaud your program and other programs too for asking those questions. And that's where we seem to get the information when you get the directors in front of you. So going back to Denise's statement as well, yes, this is the time the legislature should shine, and this is the time the governor's leadership should be out there too. And I feel I need to do a lot more because the people I think are being let down. and these are questions that I'm asking for support. We can write the laws, of course, but it's how far will my bill get? It's almost like how far does my letter get, right? And I had to reach out to media to assist me, and it does help. It really does help. If we had to continue to push it, if we're going to push it this way, which is good because the people are involved, or we push it with legislation, that's good as well. But it's all to help. It's not to attack. It's all to help the employees and the people and the administration. So one thing's for sure, I hope that people continue to. I'm glad they're on it. I'm glad social media is tuning into this and really talking about it, because election time's coming up. So that's what's going to make a big statement.
Well, before election time comes, Senator, the thing that's on a lot of people's minds, I think many of us have moved past the public health situation because many of us don't trust what the governor is saying or her physicians advisory group are saying. And we're moved on to this whole corruption issue. And my question is, and I know you're a minority member, but is there going to be any push for a corruption inquiry by the Guam legislature?
That's where we need the oversight hearings to come in. I know some of them are planned, and one of the questions, I think the public health issue with who signs the contract and was it your signature or not, the committee chair on that wants the public hearing. So I will be involved when we do have these public hearings, and I'm looking forward to asking those questions. And
Johnny's asking, will those senators be will those administration officials be under oath?
Yes.
Okay.
They'll be sworn in on a virtual Zoom conference. They'll be sworn in, and I believe we did a few of those already as well. Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
As I understand it, senators have not, in this term at least, issued or exercised their power to subpoena administration officials. Do you think it's going to come to that?
Especially with the budget process, yes.
Okay.
If they don't come to the briefings, that's our only alternative is to subpoena. It would be unfortunate if we do, but what we really need is, however they come before us, just I don't know if truth is the right word, just say it. Instead of going around in circles. The questions are pretty easy, and it gets harder when we had to re-ask the same question in a different way because they only answer to a certain point. And that's that doesn't mean just this administration. Of course, it's all administrations. But now more than ever, with our economic situation and this budget coming up in August, and the governor has yet to resubmit a new FY21 budget, the last thing I want to hear is that the BBT is going to be increased at 2 more points. That would be ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're not taking steps now to do something about this, then that's going to be their only alternative, which I disagree with.
Because a bond is not an alternative right now, that's for sure.
Yeah. Where's your money going to come
Yeah.
from? How secure are you, right?
Teresa Garcia says, that is right. The governor doesn't care about the middle class people. Everything goes to low income when they are getting public assistance, food stamps, etc. So Teresa makes a point about how at least the local government programs are not geared toward the middle class at all, and they are the ones suffering the most because they haven't had public assistance opportunities during this time. They basically had to do this on their own or by being good neighbors to each other in drives you see, or just good neighborhood actions happening throughout the community. Anything you want to say about assistance for the middle class?
Again, I brought this up to the governor and introduced a bill as well to address the middle class with that money. We took out $20 million to address that from the CARES Act. But it seems like the $20 million just went to one group of people and not the middle class.
Yeah.
We could have helped more people and paid them more with this, but it was the call of the leadership. Some are help, which is nice, and of course we can't help everybody, but we should have addressed the middle class too. It's unfortunate. I wrote a letter again, and boy, I sound like a broken record, but I'm not going to let it go.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't let it go.
just keep on bringing the point across, and that's the right thing until one day, something can be done. So I'll continue to fight. That's for sure.
If you'll indulge me just for a few more of these, Dave Duenas says, "I've said it before. I'll say it again. Out of the current 15 senators, Denise Pangilinan is right that Moylan, Tello, and Senator Therese Sherlahi are amount to the better senators. I support and believe in 6 of the current senators, the 3 above plus 3 others. So you're in a favorites list."
Oh, okay.
With Candyland viewers. Teresa Garcia says, "Pay all frontliners now. Adeloop gets paid. Government of Guam employees get paid, but frontliners had to protest for their salaries to be paid. Total shame when there is federal monies." Teresa is making a very good point, and that is there's a memo that went around the government of Guam over this past week, and it was informing government of Guam employees who are not called to duty that they are on admin leave, but those who are called to duty, they are on duty. They have to come in, and if they don't come in, their annual leave will be deducted. And if they don't have any more annual leave after that, then their pay gets deducted. It's leave without pay. This is an equity issue, Senator, because, I mean, you see how that's a very big problem. Have you heard anything from the administration as to why they would come up with such a lame brain policy?
Yeah, no, nor have I seen that memo. And that's the confusion on the word on how it's given down to the employees, because we know we also have still situations if through the CARES Act, where you can actually get some leave in addition to this, and they can't really fight you on it too. So I don't know, it almost sounds threatening, but it's how the communication is passed down, and it seems like employees aren't getting the word properly, and it's coming across wrong, just like how the differential pay was made, and they were expecting a certain thing, and they saw this, how leave is being applied, and it wasn't that way before. So I'll be happy to look at that memo and try to get more information about it. But it's the interpretation by the employee. The word down wasn't received properly, so they had to rethink that and try to put it out in a better form. Maybe this afternoon's briefing with the governor, that could be explained there too.
Well, we are getting more information about Janela Carrera than we are getting from Janela Carrera, so that could be an issue. Pictures speak 1,000 words. I'm not going to ask you about that, I promise. You don't even know what I'm talking about, I'm sure.
No clue.
Yeah.
Clue.
And Nate Horn says downsize Gov Guam, which may be an actual reality if things don't happen soon.
There's a percentage when we're at 3%, I think, on the budget, and then that the shortfalls, if that is there, we had to do some realignment. Right now, on the consolidated revenue and expenditure report, we're at 1.02%.
Yeah, though that's a lie, Senator. Lester Carlson is lying about that.
Yeah, they're using projections of the overage that we had from last year as the cushion, and they're also hoping that the federal funds would also give further cushioning for this. But at the end, when you drive down Tumon, the hotels aren't open. The tourists aren't there. The sidewalks are full of all our local residents riding their bicycles and taking a jog. That's a good thing, but the streets are empty and the little stores on the side are closed.
People are hungry.
And that's our main revenue, the tourism. So we need to do something. The governor, I really hope, would resubmit her FY21 budget to give us the vision of where our spendings need to allocate the priorities of her vision, so we can do things right to keep this government moving forward until we finally come out of this.
So just to rehash the main part of this whole conversation we had, because I know you have to go and be a part of handing out some food, right?
Right.
You have offered to the governor concrete financial solutions to get double pay paid, at the very least, the retro pay that they're owed for the past 8 weeks of service to those frontliners who have been working the past 8 weeks. $22 million from one pot of money, $13 million from another pot of money equals the 35 out of 36 million that the governor was talking about. there also is a question that you have whether their numbers are even right because of, well, just basic payroll math. And so you pen that to the governor and the director of administration with these solutions. You don't really expect a response from them. So where do you go from there?
Well, I'm still looking for solutions, other recommendations. So, and that's my duty as a senator. And I'm a senator. I'm not a career politician, by the way. So while I'm here, I got to keep on doing what I believe is right and offer other solutions. Maybe one of them will come across and be positive, or they want to take the idea and make it their own. That's great as well.
They know how to do that. They do that very well.
Yeah. Yes. That's for sure.
And lastly, Senator, will you be voting to approve the funding of fireworks for the after party that the administration very likely will have a government house and not invite any children to?
Yeah, no, that's not on my agenda. No, you got a name from this senator right here. I vote no.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Johnny, do you have any?
No more.
No. Thank you, Senator, and please drive safely.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You have
Bye-bye.
a good day.
You too.
So that was Senator Jim Moylan. We thank him very much for that phone call. Double pay. He's found the financial solution for it. Details that he's provided to Governor Lulian Guerrero and Cash Director Ed Byrne. And, well, I'll bet you if any of the media asked the governor at her Zoom conference, oh, that's a nice outfit, Chelo. I just noticed it now.
Oh, thanks, Cello.
Did you change? Or were you wearing that this whole time?
I've been wearing this when I came.
Oh, Leche says I'm gay, that's why I'm a faggot. I don't even notice these things. At the governor's Zoom conference, maybe one of the other members of the media will ask the governor about Senator Moylan's proposal. And of course, the governor's going to say, I didn't read that letter from Jim. Yeah, I didn't read it. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're talking about, Janella.
There's supposed to be a conference today, right? At 2:30?
Someone posted that in one of the chat rooms that there's some sort of important announcement that's supposed to happen at 2:30. I don't know if it's true. We'll see.
I hope it's the feds, handcuffing them and taking them off too.
Well, that would be a press conference by the U.S. attorney.
I would say to the governor, welcome to the club. Welcome to the club.
Don't say anything. Get a lawyer.
No, say everything.
Now's the time to press the mute button. Press the mute button now. Pam Duvall says, James Moylan is my favorite senator. Eric Aquay says, everyone who leaves their house and goes to work every day faces the same risks. So the federal government is recognizing that, and in HR 6800, which is expected to pass the House of Representatives within the next 2 days and be sent over to the Senate, basically, everyone who has a job where they have to interact with people in some sort of COVID-19 related way,
yes,
is going to get, if this HR 6800 becomes law, a $13 an hour bump in pay paid for by the federal government. There's a non-exhaustive list, but a rather long list of types of workers. You can find that on our website at www.candidnews.com, Eric, and for any of you who want to see that. Brad Hewitt says, the CARES Act is for everyone, not just to pay double pay and not to give free money to SNAP recipients. I think that's a point that a lot of people are making. Patsy Bias says, almost lunchtime. Yay, we made fried rice.
Guys, don't forget there's a food feed the need. It is at the Jigo Gym, the Barrigada Library, and the Sagin Besita Agate.
I think
From
Senator
10 to
Moylan, that's where he's going. I think he's going to the northern one to help pass out food.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's why he wanted to do that call right away. Michael Manessa Donata says, hashtag put Janella on. Oh, this is good. David Garrettson says, Troy asked Congressman Mike to bring in the federal and investigate this. What are you doing to the frontliners and the people It hurts me so much. Nobody wants this virus. We are going through trial and tribulation, and this is only the beginning. Remember, the Lord pays 10 times more for what you are doing. Wait and see what he will do to you. Oh, believe me, I know that that's true. There's a debate going on between Eric and Sandra.
Guys, just agree to disagree.
And Brad jumped in. Denise Pangolinan says they need to pay our veterans. My dad served his country. He should not be at the mercy of Reverend Tax to process his non-filer stimulus application. No veteran should be having to apply and wait. Well, that is a rather lengthy debate going on among those three. Amy Jackson says telecommunications is not on there.
Our list is not complete, Amy. I think we missed some, but as soon as we get the bill, the copy of the bill over to us, we will post that. So
there's one thing. So if you're working during the emergency but you're teleworking, you're not included in that $13 an hour thing.
yeah.
Randy Sanchez Hall says, can you call him back and ask him to repeat everything he said? I was mesmerized by his dimples. I didn't hear him.
Oh my goodness,
Jay
Brandy.
Brandy, you're married.
Yeah.
Charlie Hermosa says realignment.
Well, that's okay because apparently in this administration, that's okay. That's okay.
Charlie Hermosa says realignment, new people might be taking control. Oh, is he talking about the supposed 2:30 briefing? Well, let's see. I'm gonna call Charlie after this. That's all. Do you have anything else?
No, just be safe, Guam. Please practice social distancing. Take full responsibility for your own actions. And let's fight this administration.
Fight. I'm just not kidding. Okay. Love you all.
Bye.